David's going to get on that, yeah. All to the grass. He can just have a nice swinging canter up there. Okay.
All present and correct?
Present and correct. First day they've got their sponsored kit on.
You can't beat a bit of sponsorship.
We like a bit of sponsorship.
Looks like you might need a bit.
A few bills to pay off. It's good. It's obviously you never came to the old place, but it's, for me, just stood in here. The horses seem so happy, and I'd been wanting to find somewhere for a couple of years, and I really wanted to buy a yard because I thought it was the next step to be able to try and make the business work properly. But yeah, it felt the right step for me.
So you're very much your own person now. Then,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, we employ 50, 60 people here, and it's a great spot for everyone to work in. And look, as I said, just very, very happy that we're here now.
So when did the new arrival arrive?
She is 2.5 weeks old.
2.5.
Yeah, little India.
Has that changed life massively?
I think essentially, yeah, it has. But my job very much sort of means that I've got to be here quite a lot of the time, and I do try and get home after 3 lots rather than 4 sometimes, and that sort of thing. But essentially, I've got to keep training the horses, otherwise we're not going to win any races, and the whole thing doesn't work. But yeah, she's amazing.
I think it's the biggest responsibility any of us have, isn't it?
100%, yeah.
Becoming a parent.
Not that nothing else matters, but
no.
That's all that really matters, isn't it? So yeah, it's exciting times.
So you were just down here, weren't you?
I actually started in there.
In there?
Red House Stables.
Red House.
And then we were just up the road here. So it's about 7 minutes by horse. So it is marginally longer each lot, but
I reckon the happiest person about you moving is your pal George Scott, because he said he used to feel sick looking over the fence every day and seeing all your horses and all the winners.
He's doing all right himself, George.
He's doing great now since you moved.
Yeah. No, George, do you know what, it's such fun having such good mates doing, you know, well alongside you, and being able to enjoy the good times and the bad times. You know, I think there's, as very much I was thinking on the way to work this morning, you know, those good days really outweigh the bad days, but you need people there when you have those bad days. And you know, George's a great friend, and you know, like George and I are going to the football tonight, and it's sort of nice to be able to get away from here at times and do something a bit different. And
it was on this exact bit of road we filmed with George, and he came out with these immortal words about you being obsessed with Pep Guardiola, exactly as we were driving down here. So, were you obsessed with Pep Guardiola?
Football, I think, has quite similar traits to racing. I think all sport is quite similar in a way but I think the way that it's changed in the last 20, 30 years is very similar to racing.
Yeah.
And I think racing's going that way even further. You know, it's more data driven, it's more, you know, you see my young team of people here, we want to be doing things with energy and making it cool, making it fun, making people want to come and get involved. And I also think the image of our brand is something that we've been trying to work on and trying to make it a happy place, a fun place, and they all look smart, they look good. It's a sort of, I want people to want to wear the uniform.
Team identity.
Exactly, and you know, racing back in the day wasn't anything like that. You know, it wasn't. I grew up wearing football shirts. I want people to, not that people are ever going to wear a racing shirt or anything, but you know, ideas like the Racing League and that sort of thing, making it fun and sunny evenings. And there's a part of me that thinks that racing and football are quite similar. Oh, we'll carry on in a minute. I'll get these sorted. Yeah, good. Very good. Right.
You find trainers and jockeys all walk at a great pace.
This is me just in second gear. Can't really remember where we were. But
no, we were just...
the obsession. I think obsession is a...
Do you learn from people like that? Can you learn from other top sports people?
I think so, but I think inherently you just either have it in you or you don't. I think as I was touching on it, it almost became a bit of a problem, really. You know, I think from 3 horses to training 139 winners or whatever it was in my third full year, I did have to slightly take a bit of a pull and just try and change the mantra, really. But yeah, we're trying to focus on a better horse and a better horse, better owner, better races, and all just trying to work in the same direction, really, now. Well, the one in front's misbehaving and not really quite. Hey. Mark, if you lead these 2, okay? Jack, sit third. Just 5 furlongs, routine stuff. They're both in at the weekend. See how we go, okay? I'd like them to hit the line together. Calafiore, Patsy, Chaz, sit third, okay? Just routine stuff, okay? All right, Pete Moss.
Obviously, as you know, I spend half my time in football training grounds and bits and bobs, and like managers and coaches will talk about watching training and watching attitude, how people turn up, what they show. I mean, the similarities, I suppose, is it, with a horse?
Very much so. I think with the horse and with the staff as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's I often draw similarities to, you know, we've got some, in their own right, some very high-profile riders.
Yeah.
Whether it be jockeys, whether it be stable staff in the mornings, they're, you know, it's managing them as much as anything. But I think the horses, you know, there's only one horse who I've seen a slight change in this morning who's probably not quite right there. Not that she's not quite right, but was a bit different, and you can immediately see it. I hope she doesn't show it in her work.
What's harder, managing the people or the horses?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Good answer.
Definitely the people. Horses can't talk.
There isn't many finer sights in England when you turn up here on Newmarket on a sunny morning, heading into May.
Yeah, it's it makes I'm sort of someone that always says I'd love it to be 22 degrees all year round, but the seasonal aspect of what we do, you know, everyone getting up so early in the mornings, and it's, you know, there's a lot of times when Henry and I sat in the car and it's absolutely lashing with rain.
Yeah.
Well, at least we're in the car with the heated seats on. But everyone is freezing outside. But when you get mornings like this, and you get prolonged periods of it, and into the Guineas, and yeah, it's very special. It does remind me of the Guineas year. We don't have anything in it this year, but when Cachet won, and it was just beautiful weather for 6 weeks and fast ground, and that's what we're all about, really. You know, we're working horses on pretty fast ground this morning, but we do train flat horses that we hope can run on fast ground if we don't get overwatered.
You can't not be aware of the history and tradition of this place.
Yeah, I sort of growing up as a kid, it was a complete pipe dream, really, to even be training horses in Newmarket, and to now be here with a string of horses that we have is amazing. I just hope that we can find a few to add to that history.
Look at this.
It's quite a sight, isn't it?
It's an amazing sight. I never ever tired of it in my entire life.
What I love over here is never see anyone. You know, it's so quiet for the horses, and
Gives you thinking time.
yeah, but also for, you know, people say Newmarket, oh, it's busy and buzzy and this and that, and where we train from, it's almost like we're not in Newmarket. You know, obviously they do go over to Warren Hill. We'll see them second lot, but I love it over here.
So this is yours coming on now, is it?
So yeah, that was just one doing a solo there.
How much do you learn from this, really and honestly? How much do you learn?
Because we work so much here, I get a real good guide, I think, as to where we are. You know, this would be our most used gallop. Megaphone in the middle. Moonfall, who was second at Newmarket, on the far side. He's a nice colt. So, you know, the lead horse is a mid-80s 3-year-old
Yeah.
sprinter who won a maiden, and the 2-year-old's going
Upsides.
with it. which is always a good sign. Englemere, the near side, and a 2-year-old filly by Havana Grey, the far side. So that again is probably even better work than the other one. She's a listed winning 2-year-old, and the horse on the far side's a maiden. So
That's good news.
unraced Boughey on the far side, he goes quite well. Boughey out of Lady Momoka, far side goes quite well. One of Obeid's smarter pedigrees, and a Blue Point in the middle of High Clears. They seem to have 2 nice fillies again. 2 quite nice fillies here. She's the Duchess on the far side of Orange Sky, the near side, both maiden winners. But yeah, it's such an exciting time of the year, I think, with most of those, as you heard, unraced 2-year-olds or once raced 2-year-olds, and the work that was put in through the winter trying to source them. And
Have you passed the dreaming stage now? Like during the winter, you're probably dreaming. Is it now on to more real hopes and real possibilities?
I think so. I've been a bit of a realist, possibly not negative way, but appreciating how hard it is to find a good one.
Yeah.
You know, you hear lots of people, especially in a town like Newmarket, talking their horses up,
Yep.
sort of thing. Yeah, and obviously, you know, it's more the lads in the yard than anything, I think, really. And we've got some nice horses, but we've all seen nice horses at 6:15 in the morning, and I'd rather just get them on the track and race them and see how we
what
go.
they're like at 2:15 somewhere else.
Helps a bit more if they do it then, doesn't it? I need to get a bigger car, team.
I don't think you can get much bigger. Can you get it? So you and George had another thing in common, didn't you? You're both farmers' sons.
Yes. Yeah.
You had I asked George the same. You had no ambition to go into farming. Yeah, I don't know.
Not really, no. It was always there and a possibility, and you know, Dad would have us out in the harvest and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Not against our own will. Dad was always a very fair man who wanted us to do what we wanted to do. I'm sort of one of 4, and we all do completely different things. And but none of us had any interest in farming. And Dorset's a long way from here, and sadly, I don't get down there very often. But I always remember when I said that I wanted to train horses, Dad saying, you know, you are basically just a farmer, but of horses. So yeah, I think, you know, Dad watches every runner and Mum tries to, but I think...
Is he full of helpful fatherly advice, as we all can be?
He actually kind of just lets me get on with it, which is, I think probably good. Little bit of knowledge is often dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
He wouldn't like me to say that, but when I get the well done from Mum when we have a second isn't much fun, but seconds don't really work.
I saw a programme the other night where an owner described it. He said, second, in my view, is the first loser.
Yeah, I think that's about right. I think they've got it spot on.
Yeah. Well, look at this. There's a lot of everything, isn't there? We've talked about dreams, hopes, aspirations. There's a lot of money.
There's a lot of money, yeah. There's a lot of nice horses here, and I've never had such a nice bunch of horses in terms of pedigrees and physicals and homebreds that we've been sent, and we've now just got to produce the goods, really. But it's not been overused, the same pressure as a privilege, but you know, if I wasn't getting up in the morning thinking, you know, we've got to make this work, then I'm training ordinary horses, and luckily we're trying to move the right way. It doesn't feel like very long ago that me and A.D. Rogers, my head lad, were heading out with our 3 horses. The first one just carted off nearly got to Cambridge, and I remember leading it back and thinking he just might head back to Hugo's and take his old job at Hugo Palmer's, but no, it's come a long way.
Does it seem a long time? It's a relatively short space of time. I mean, your rise has been meteoric, hasn't it? I mean,
I think this is our 6th season. So yeah, to think that we've got 130, 140 horses and have done so for the last 3 or 4 years, and trained over 100 winners for the last 3 is it hasn't been very long, but it's felt a bit longer to me, I must say.
Sleepless nights?
I've never been a very good sleeper.
Haven't you?
I think it's like it's not worrying. It's more excitement. It's you know, I go to bed at the moment, desperate to get up and watch these horses work.
Is it the first thing you think about and the last thing you think about before you have a little bit of sleep?
Sadly, yeah. Right, I better quickly see these, but
you crack on. Morning.
all ready?
Yeah.
Good. Has he got a tongue tie on him?
No.
We'll put one on him going forward, okay? He's in good nick. He's a dude. If they're all like him, my job would be pretty easy.
I know.
All right. Well done.
Well, George, I knew him way back when he was with Hugo. My brother Michael used to ride work there, and so we got to know George then. And then, of course, he started up, made a huge success straight away. And now, as you can see, he's got this new yard and plenty of horses.
If he can win that, he's a single-figure horse for the Coventry.
You know, George, he knows his horses. All the time he's watching them, planning, and he's stepping not just the next race, but the race after that and the race after that. That's what, for me, training is all about, is planning. You know, I mean, you only have to look at the amount of horses George is training now. He's got Billy riding for him, young rider, doing extremely well. It's, you know, it's a team that's going forward.
These are the George Boughey sunglasses.
Are they?
I think they are, aren't they? I don't think they suit me as much as I don't think they do. No, they are.
I think they do suit you.
Do you think so?
I could see those at the Emirates on a
This
sunny...
is a fashion statement, is it?
Is it?
I think it is for you.
I've got about 10 pairs of sunglasses.
Very nice.
I'm not sure whether they...
I recognise you more with your sunglasses. Oh dear. So, happy with that?
Yeah, good. I mean, with that number of horses, I think it's so key that we do video it. You know, we've worked a lot of unraced horses, and to be able to, we'll go and get it back on the computer back at home and watch it all back through and
analyse. I mean, I just keep bringing it back to football because obviously that's my natural home.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
So
it's all analytics.
We'll go and look through. So we've had a number of horses that have heart rate monitors, stride monitor, you know, all that sort of thing, and whether it's still very much done on your eye. I think, you know, when Believing went to Dubai, her work was identical on the clock to when she was running at a very high level last year.
Yeah.
To know that she was rock hard fit meant that when I sat at home on the sofa going to post, I was very confident that if she'd shipped over there good and done all of that sort of thing, that she wasn't going to lack for fitness. And I don't train off the data, but it's just a confirmation as to where you're going, really.
I get on really well with George. Like I said, I've been with him for the last 3 years, and I've got a really privileged job. He's got some massive owners and some great horses, and it's a privilege to get up on a few of them.
Just steady away with him. Okay, he's just started back after his run.
He's very ambitious. He always wants to do the best with whatever horse he has, and he just wants winners, which is sort of part of the job, really. And I think being as ambitious as he is makes him so good.
Billy was nearly going to go and lead up today. He's got a rare day off, so I had to ban him.
Non-runner.
It was a strange start, really, because his father, who I'd sort of got to know around the all-weather tracks in the winter, came up to me at a sale at Tassels, I can't remember which one it was, and he said, "Oh, my son's starting riding, and you know he's about to have his first ride, and you wouldn't have him in for the morning. He's obsessed with your training and watched you growing up and that sort of thing, and would love to come and ride for you." And I was thinking, here we go, here's the the next, just so yeah, we'll bring him in and have a look. And we were down in the old yard, and I said, yeah, sure, no, we'll see him in the morning. And Billy was still at school, so he had to get shipped down by his mum. And immediately he had that star quality. At 16, he was having a conversation like this. He was so mature, and you know, I don't think he'd ever had a winner at that time. And I was pretty transfixed from the start, and I think it took him 30 rides to ride a winner for us, but his professionalism was just very infectious, and a great form student, and I'm still trying to find a fault in him. I haven't found one yet.
I think he places his horses very well. He pinpoints where he wants to run them and always has a proper plan for every horse where they're mapped out. And I think it comes to the fore when he has horses doing sequences. And he's a great trainer.
So, loaded question. This is the most important lady in your life?
Absolutely, yeah. At the moment, anyway. She's a bit grumpy at the moment because she's been on a break.
What's up, babes? What's up? You're not like that.
And she likes to go out first lot.
Yeah.
But there's no race for her until Royal Ascot. And she has to go out a bit later in the morning, which doesn't really suit her. She's just been trotting for a bit, and usually she's a lot quieter, but I like to see that in her at this time of year. She's stronger and more mature than she's ever been, and there was a huge sense of satisfaction at Meydan getting that final, that Group 1 finally. It had been a frustrating time last year. I think having horses operate at that level and not winning is difficult. The plan with her is Royal Ascot. She'll have an entry in both sprints. She ran in both last year. She'll probably just run in one of them this year, but look, I will be told probably where we're going to go. I think Cornwall have a better group of sprinters this year, possibly Storm Boy over from Australia. But look, 5, 6 come alike to her. So yeah, exciting times.
Everything's very much in the making.
Yeah.
But gymnasium.
Yeah, I look, it's a bit of a
Building site.
At the moment, but I do think in time it's going to be flawed, and I think we've got a number of apprentice jockeys and myself spend more time in the gym than we used to. Look, it's a thing that I want it to be another reason why people want to come work here, and get my apprentices in there. They can't complain doing 9 stone 2 if they've got the gym on site.
No? How much of the painting and decorating are you doing, by the way?
Just managing that at the moment.
Managing.
Yeah, or trying to anyway. I've been in a porter cabin.
Yeah.
For the first 5 years.
And now you've got a proper
office.
office.
But now we can put things on the wall, like the 5-timer last year. And
that's nice.
But honestly, we've been...
Where's that going to go?
Probably needs to go somewhere.
Well, I think it's a bit big for that, isn't it? I don't know. That needs to be behind... Well, no, you've got a window. There. That's where it needs to go. There. That right there.
These are... I like... Winners are everything, aren't they? But 5 on a day was cool.
It was incredible.
It was fun. Billy's present to me.
He sent you a present, did he?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't it sweet?
Plenty of him in there, not so much of you, isn't there?
I know, yeah. It's not about... it's all about him.
I'm not kind of sure. Yeah. I'm not sure how good a present that actually is.
This was all me.
This is all about me.
But that's another satisfying... I mean, the office is at the elementary stages, but Jack Callan there, he had gave a very sweet interview at Bath actually the other day when he rode his first winner for me, and he's come such a long way as a person as much as anything, and that meant a lot to me, that horse winning.
I think it's great.
Jack.
It's good to have memories, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good to remember where you've come from.
It will look very different in...
Hang on.
Yeah, I've got terrible skin.
Other moisturisers are available, but are you a moisturiser?
I've got a full skin routine, don't worry.
Have you? Full skin?
My skin is that bad.
No wonder you're looking so youthful.
Well, I'm not sure I am, but...
No, it is good. It is good. I learnt too late in life, but you can't beat a bit of moisturiser. Others are available.
Product placement.
Others are available, that's what we say.
There'll be ad at the bottom of there. Hey, Nicky.
Look, Henry's still at it. He has it. He's doing good. This is good.
But so I actually want to show you what we do. Look, we worked a lot of horses. We worked close to 30 horses first lot this morning, and it's quite hard to be able to remember exactly what happened in all of them, and a lot of them are now wearing monitors which produce the data, which we'll get later in the morning. But I just like to be able to see it back. We could pick out 2 fillies here. Not that we wouldn't have remembered it, but it's nice to be able to see it back.
Yeah,
and
that's brilliant.
It's hard to produce a service of the owners being in the yard the whole time and seeing them. But I feel like with these sort of videos, they can see the horse to the finest detail. We do a video of them walking around afterwards.
So how big part of your day is this, Henry?
Yeah, exactly. And for George and I, it'd be a big point of reference to look back on. So for example, She's the Duchess, who we just watched. If we go into here, this is all her work since October last year, so you can kind of see the progression as from her 2 to 3 year old career,
and it might even be 10 minutes before a race or an hour before a race, and I say to Henry, get up, she's the Duchess as well, or something like that, and we'll have a look. And I might text Billy and be like, actually, let's do that rather than this. And you know, she's done a lot better. Geez, she quite fancy this, you know, or something like that. But being able to have all of that work there is a huge help for us. I used to do it on my iPhone, and it was complete carnage.
This is why you need young people.
I know.
Techno savvy.
Absolutely.
Highly.
Is he a good boss?
Very good boss. Yeah. It's good fun.
He was never going to say anything else,
It's
was
good,
he?
it's good fun. I
Yeah.
enjoy it. It's a fantastic team here, and it's just a nice environment, and we're all trying to produce the same result, I guess. So it's you know, it's fun to come to work.
He's a good cameraman as well.
He's good, yeah.
He is good.
He's good on camera and a good camera.
Oh, no.
He's good at lifting those trophies in Dubai as well. He's had more press from that than anything else.
Yeah,
so.
that got it.
No, it's
That's what it's all about, though, isn't it?
absolutely sad not to be there. If you just stay over here, just take him really steady down the farm, okay? Warren Hill, Warren Hill, Warren Hill.
The uniform's working, does it for me?
Does it for you,
Yeah,
does it?
it's good.
Good.
Yeah,
That's what we like to hear.
I like that. It's a good uniform.
He's saying all the right words
I'm
today.
just saying.
Billy does come on the ground quite a lot and in the car, because you're just able to see the whole string. When he's sat on one, you're not getting as much as seeing 25 train at the same time, and I think it's worked quite well recently,
I
don't
think
you?
it's brilliant, yeah.
Yeah,
I get to know them a lot more as well.
after you. Have I lost my car?
I read somewhere that you describe yourself as restless. What's restless?
I actually have sort of experienced it even more in the last few weeks, because I'm getting to the point where our yard is nearly fully done, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking where the next thing is. I think it's just, I've always wanted to keep improving, and when I started training, I'd have been very happy training 40, 50 horses for the whole of my life, and then you start doing a bit more and a bit better, and you want it better and better and better, and I think the winners thing has become quite addictive. You know, I love winning races. I think that feeling for horses is as much as humans, as much for me, as much for the owners. If your horses are winning, it doesn't matter where they are. Every horse has its level, and just trying to get the best out of each horse it's the same as everyone, isn't it? Everyone's trying to do that.
Does the addiction bring stress with it? So, like, you're addicted to winning, but does that come with the stress, or?
Yeah, I think naturally, but stress and pressure and all those words, they're all, if we didn't have good horses, you wouldn't have any of them.
Are you good at dealing with stress?
Getting better. I do try and have more time to myself and away from the horses, but
Yeah. What's your go-to thing for?
football's the
Football?
real obsession.
Not Southampton. that could have only added to the stress
But
level.
it's been quite a fun year because
What, getting relegated?
but having some nice invites to watch Southampton.
Yeah.
But
Getting relegated.
It's always there's the inevitability that it's going to be 3, 4 or 5 badly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, football's London's not far away, and knowing more people sort of in the industry who have nicer tickets and being able to get to those nice grounds, it's something that I really enjoy. And
You're an NFL man as well, aren't you?
we like the Sunday
like the
evenings.
American,
But yeah, I think it's good to enjoy other things. Anything really with moving ball, I enjoy. But
I think more and more people, I've noticed, that certainly at Sky, that the attraction of American sport now is a huge thing amongst the younger generation.
I think it's something that we can really learn from in England with all sport. Really, it's bigger and better and more impressive. I think going to the NFL a couple of years ago. Obviously, it was in Vegas. It was grand and it was big, but it was a real eye opener. We're a long way behind in all sports. It's not just sort of racing. We're in the entertainment business at the end of the day, aren't we? It's not a circus, but it's we're providing entertainment for owners and the public and the watching TV crowds and everyone. And I think we need to make more of our showpiece event, really. I think there needs to be more promotion in London and getting people, it's only down the road, getting people along. And but yeah, it could be a bit louder.
Everybody talks about the buying of horses, but selling's a huge part of it now. Talk to me about Via Custina and how your feelings are. I mean, it's obviously been a good deal, but when you're watching it racking up all that success in the Southern Hemisphere.
She was a star for us, obviously winning a Group 1. If she hadn't won a Group 1, it would have been quite frustrating because the talent was there from the moment she walked in the yard, and I think the talent had been there ever since Joe Chewett had her as a juvenile. Yeah, she's gone from strength to strength.
So we've had a great look round here this morning. I mean, it's clear you've been geared up for success. What constitutes success this season, first and foremost?
I think, obviously, having horses win at the highest level is everything, but increasing that general quality of horse is so key for us. You know, we've trained 100 winners the last 3 years or more, and I think to find those better horses, you need that volume of horses nowadays, and it's addictive. We want to keep those 100 winners a year. It might be harder again this year because we've got a nicer quality of horse which doesn't run as much, and but we'll be trying to do it, and we've had a Group 1 winner in Dubai, and it'd be great to have one in England.
I want to finish talking just about you because it's important. You've been very open and very honest. Do you think you've matured a lot in your attitudes towards life, towards everything? Do you feel older now?
I certainly feel older. Yeah, I do. It feels very different to when I started. I think, you know, with the calibre of horse changing, I had to change and had to mature and had to. I was a nervous wreck when I started, taking the whole stable to Bath, 3 runners. You know, it's come a long way from there. Not that I don't get disappointed or not that I don't get too high when we win big races, but keeping that level sort of equilibrium of life has been a challenge, but it's one I've enjoyed, and I hope it will stand us in good stead going forward.